Now, talking about morphology. What is morphology? It's the study of word formation, including the ways new words are coined in the language of the word and the way form of words are varied depending on how they're used in sentences. Morphology is a field of linguistics focused on the study of the form and formation of the word in a language. Word is a language consists of one element or elements of meaning which are called morpheme. It's the most important unit if the morpheme, which is defined as the minimal unit of meaning. Morpheme. Linguistics define a morpheme as the smallest unit of language that has its own meaning. What are morphemes? A morpheme is the smallest unit of meaning of grammatical function. For example, boys, girls. A morpheme can be a root word, suffix, or prefix. For example, like, unlike. Most words are more than one morpheme long, but a morpheme is not the same as a syllable. How many morphemes are there in the word? About of the word. A word can be defined as one or more morphemes that can stand alone in a language. Words that consist of only one morpheme can be termed simple or simplest word. What is a lexeme? A lexeme is the fundamental unit of the lexicon or word stack of a language. A lexeme is an abstract unit of morphological analysis in linguistics that roughly corresponds to a set of forms taken by a single word. How many types of morphemes are there? For example, bone morphemes, free morphemes, root morphemes, stem morpheme, derivational morpheme, inflectional morpheme. Example of morpheme. One morpheme, boy, water, desire. Two morpheme, boy plus each. The bound morpheme have not linguistic meaning unless they are connected to a root or base word, or in some cases, another bound morpheme. Prefixes and suffixes are two types of bound morpheme. Root, a morpheme which is the basic part of a word and which may in many languages occur on its own. For example, man, whole, book. Now, talking about base word. A base word is a word part that contains the core meaning of a word and can also stand alone. Examples: form, operate, believe, read. Base word. A base word is a word in its simplest form. A base word has nothing added to it. Example: the, write, read, back. What are affixes? A word element, usually a prefix or suffix, that can be attached to a base, stem, or root to form a new word. An affix is simply a grammatical element in the form of a group of letters that is added to the main part of a word, also known as suffixes. Suffixes are added to end of base word. They change the meaning of the base word. For example, wonder plus full, wonderful. rest plus full, restful. Prefixes. Prefixes are added to the beginning of a base word. They change the meaning of the base word. For example, plus happy, unhappy. Plus do, redo. Now, I am going to explain derivational morphemes. The basic concept of derivational morpheme is that they derive new word. In the following examples, derivational morphemes are added to produce new words, which are derived from the parent word. For example, happy, happiness. Exam, examination. Beati, beautiful. Danger, dangerous. In all cases, the derived word means something different than the root, and the word class might change with each derivation. Compounding word. Two little words that come together to make a new word. For example, rain plus coat, raincoat. Snow plus man, snowman. Cat plus fish, catfish. Other examples, gold plus fish, goldfish. Cow plus boy, cowboy. Borrowing. Taking over the of word from another language. English borrowed a lot of the Latin and French word. Example, lake, Dutch. Barbecue, Spanish. Piano, Italian. Yogurt, Turkish. Acronyms. Like abbreviation but act as a normal word. For example, UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Science and Culture Organization. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Blending. Blending is the formation of a new word by combining parts of the two words or a word plus a part of another word or vice versa. Example, flash plus blush. Beef burger, beef plus hamburger. Eurasia, Europe plus Asia. Negative prefixes. A prefix is added to the beginning of the word or to a word root that change its meaning. For example, adding of to pleasant become unpleasant. It makes the original word an antonym, its opposite. For example, undid, undressed, unpleasant, undecided. Suffixes. Privileged prefix. The prefix is a privilege and the word means the opposite, the excusable, that it is unable to be excused, not excusable. Some languages have privileged suffixes. Less is an example in English. For example, are, t, a, an, or, t, e, n, in, Hungarian, or, tongue, Finnish, noun, in language. Suffixes, along with prefixes and word root, are a useful way to build vocabulary. They are, however, some suffixes which change the meaning of a word. Example are full and less, which make the word positive or negative respectively. For example, thought plus full, thoughtful. Thought plus less, thought less. In conclusion, morphology is the study of words, how they are formed, and their relationship to other words in the same language. Analysis, the structure of word and the part of the word, such as stems, root word, prefixes, and suffixes.